Welcome back to the next video here, Piano Music and Repair. I'm pretty sure this is part 13 of restoring the spinnet piano. Today, I mentioned a while back, we relocated the piano back to my house because I was running out of time at the shop to work on it, so I went ahead and brought it back. Today, what we were doing here is the process on strings, how they're going. Looking pretty good. These need to be cleaned because they've been on a while and there's dust been collected on them, and I've had it covered up, but the shop was dusty, and that's another thing about that shop. It was so dusty I couldn't keep it clean, so I went ahead and brought it home for that reason as well. But so basically we're getting this piano all worked on. We're getting it basically back to its original condition when it was new. This is the part where the piano really starts to come to be a brand new instrument. So basically, we've got all of these strung, obviously, all these up here. And that one right here ties at the very bottom, like that. And one thing I ran into a little bit of trouble as I was restringing. And I noticed a while back that there's 4 hitch pins. And I realized that one wire wraps around 2 of the hitch pins in the middle. I didn't realize that at first because, you know, who expects that to go around 2 hitch pins? But I have a few other pianos in my house, and I went and looked at them. And I'm like, daggone, they're all like that. So, and I lined it up. The grooves from the old strings were still in here. I made sure to leave the old grooves in the bridge. I made them to where, well, I kind of made them to where I could still see them. And the old grooves really helped me out too, and that's how this one works as well. So if you were going to restring a piano, and just note that this is the pattern right here for the bottom on most pianos. Probably not all pianos are going to be like that 100%, but for most cases they are, and these are just normal. So it'd be the pins on the outside will be the one. I'm gonna loop around 1 pin from the ends, and then the middle, the 2 pins, 1 string wire around. So really, there's 3 wires on there total. So, got that out of the way. Now today we're working on cleaning pins and putting them in the piano. So I just got done ruining a bushing. Kind of pounded the pin a little too hard. That happens every now and then. So I'm going to kind of share the process of replacing that. And don't worry, the bushings are like, I don't know, like a few cents a piece. I have like 5 bags of them, whole bags of these. But we're going to get these fixed up. And these are the same tuning pins that originally were in the piano, but they're cleaned up. But all this is decent. The coils are not perfect. They're not gonna be. It don't really matter. The coils are perfect around each other as long as the strings are not coming up like that. And when that happens, I have a string lifter and spacer that pushes that coil down in there. So today, here's our bucket of pins. And no, I did not put the chalk in there. I got a bucket from the shop some kid built, and it just had blue chalk in it. So I was like, yeah, don't really matter. I can just blow the chalk off the pen. Ain't like I'm gonna get it down the block, pen block or nothing. But anyway, so basically, as I was taking that pin out, and this tells you right here, 100%, this bushing's ruined. When you try pulling a pin out and you get stuck in your tuning hammer, that's a bad indication. That's a good indication that bushing ain't worth keeping. So anyway, first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get these are my mom's pliers, not mine. See if I can get the old bushing out of here. I'm on the floor now. I did have a table, but now I'm on the floor with it. Well, look at there. Pulled out one hole and put it in another. Would you look at that? Alright. Let's throw that off to the side. Oh no, that one went down in there. When that happens, it's a devil to get them back out. So when that happens, I just get a vacuum and suck it out. So we'll worry about that specific pin later, since that's laying down in the bottom of that. We will suck that out. I don't want to get tools down in there. I probably do have pliers small enough, but not with me. And I'm not going all the way up to get them, so I'll use vacuum on it. But for now, we're going to work on getting this pin off of the tuning hammer. I'm just going to try to work with this. Now, the proper way when it's in the piano to get the pin off is to jiggle it like that. And it'll work its way out. But since my hand's going to act as a pin block to hold it, I guess.
Kind of take it out. And I kind of pull as I'm jiggling it up and down. Kind of keep the hammer secure. Yeah. And eventually, it should come right out. Eventually. But no guarantee. I might need that. The last thing I want to do is grip it by threads with any tool, because where the threads are so small, it's so easy to get one little part of the thread messed up and it don't go back in. So, that's one thing
I do not want to do. Now, there is a few ways you can do this. Now, and if the pin doesn't come off of the tuning hammer like that, what you can do is, if you're going to reuse the pin, which I am, so basically what I'm saying is, if you have a stuck pin, which, I mean, this is a stuck pin, it's not going anywhere. The only other way to get this pin off is to get some vice grips or something to grip it and yank it out of the hammer. Me, I can't do it, because where I tap the pin all the way into the block, it's all the way into the hammer, the tuning hammer as well, to the back of it. So it's not going to come out unless I use a tool, and it's going to break the threads completely. Going to eat them out. So, basically, what we're going to do, if that happens, what I do is very straightly hold the tuning hammer onto my next part where I'm going to hammer in, and I'll tap it down into the block. And that way the block will grip it good enough to where I can pull the tuning hammer on out. So, I'm going to work on doing that right now. So, I'm going to see if I can, what I'm going to do is, like I mentioned, I'm going to take my tuning hammer, make sure it's on the next pin. I don't want to keep it bent like this. I want to keep it straight as I can. Now, keep in mind, it's going to straighten out as it goes down, but you want to be careful of where that pin goes. And when you hear the loud hit like that, like this, when you hear like metal to metal, it kind of sounds like you're hitting metal to metal. That's when the pin has successfully went through the bushing and down into the block. So, we're going to go ahead and tap it on in. Until I miss the pin completely. Okay. Just like this. I'm going to go down a little farther. Alright. Right there is perfect. And now this pin is super tight. You want it to be tight around the pin, because if it's not tight around the pin, then it's not going to hold tune. So, now that's around the pin and it's good, I want to get my hole right there. It's perfect. I want to get my hole to where I can, obviously put a string on it. And then now, my tuning hammer is going to jiggle on out like this. Just like that. And now my tuning hammer is free, and I have a tuning pin in the hole. Now, cleaning these tuning pins, I'm going to show you what one looks like. Wipe this chalk off it first. So, the threads are good, but there's a teeny tad bit of rust right here. That's not going to hurt nothing. It's surface rust, and it really came from that bushing. So it's not really going to hurt much at all. Now, will it hold up as long? possibly, it should, but this pen is not going to get any more wet as long as I have it. So, it should do great. So, we're about to clean this pen up, and by clean the pen, I mean like the part where the tuning hammer goes. But yeah, you can clearly tell right there that rust is just where that bushing was. So, to clean these pens, I have a very used that I've used like when I started this whole project. This is the first pad I have, and I still have it. I'm still using it. Scotch-Brite pad, and that's what I'm using. And I take the pen and I grab it, and I'm just gonna go like this with it. Fine. Just to get it nice and clean, get all that surface rust out of there, just to make it look pretty and make it fit on my tuning hammer better. Just like that. Alright, now we'll get the top. Let's get the top and just go like that. And there we go. There's just a clean tuning pen. That right there is how quickly we can do that. So now we're ready to put it in the piano. Now, same thing with the other pen. Stick it on the hole. Well, the other pen we're not going to put it on the hammer this time, tuning hammer. So we're going to take the pen. We're going to, wonder if I get y'all a better angle. Wonder if that'll work. Maybe that ain't going to work. It's going to slip. Now, that's the best I can do. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to put the pen, there's a pointy end right there on the bottom of the tuning pen. It's pointy. Put that point, like a cone shape, put it in that hole right there in the middle of that bushing. So it starts in there right. And then, like I said, when you'll hear doom, 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 doom. And then you'll hear bang, bang, bang. And when you hear that, that's when the pen has successfully went through the bushing. And now it's going into the block. So you'll hear it. I'll let you know when it goes into the block. Alright, it's in the block now. Alright, and now what I can do, make my tuning hammer and I'll put it on the pen now. Hammer it in the rest of the way. Watch my bushing, of course. Alright, make sure I'm tight, which I am. That bushing, sometimes the bushing will crumble. The bushings that I have, they'll crumble. And that's not a good thing, and it's not a bad thing either. So, you really just want pressure on that pen, just to keep it tight, is what you want. That's the whole purpose in CA glue, really, is to either keep the bush. It's the CA glue keeps the bushings in the pen block, and it tightens itself around each other, and that's what that does. Again, jiggle it out, up and down like that, till the tuning hammer comes off. And that right there is how we put pins in a piano. That's part 13, restoring spinnet pianos. This is kind of what I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to do that all the way until I get to the very last pin. So I've done that with all this whole piano. And we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So I'll see y'all in part 14. So stay safe, enjoy. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.